Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Bhastaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Devasesha Sunyapari Pashtatara Satarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gauri Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So someone was trying to get in? No.
No,
Okay.
no, I don't
Okay.
think so.
All right. So yeah, listen to recording. Um we
I
won't
will.
yeah, we this is where we finished off doing having a summary understanding or a summary memorization of the Brihad Bhagavatamrta. Now this is part one. Now we got up to about here.
Oh, you're still on part one then, right?
Yeah, we're still doing overview of part one. So
Okay.
we've covered the very beginning, Bulma on Earth. Um, okay, try not to go through the details very briefly. The journey of the journey of the uh, finding out Narada Muni. That's whose journey is. Yeah, he wants to meet the most exalted devotees. So he
Mm.
starts off on earth. He meets the Brahman from Prayag. The Brahman sends him to a southern king. The southern king directs Narad to the demigods. So then Narad goes to demigods. He sees the Lord. He sees Indra. Then he praises Indra. So Indra he's having nothing of it. He refutes the glorification and directs him to Lord Brahma. There's wonderful descriptions here along the way. We're just giving the outline. So Narad refutes that and sends Narad to Lord Shiva. So then we go up to Shiva Loka. So that's leaving the material world. So above the heavenly planets is no longer the material world. It's in the spiritual realms. There's different parts of the spiritual realm. So Shiva Loka is one of them. So Lord Shiva becomes angry, yeah, which is unbecoming Lord Shiva, but he, from one sense. And then Narad, yeah, then Lord Shiva um, sends Narad to Vaikuntha. Yeah. And then Narada wants to visit Vaikuntha. Yeah, then there's a little bit of an interesting turn in the story. Yeah, Shiva reminds Narada that actually Krishna is present here on the Boma, so there's no need to go to Vaikuntha. So then Lord Shiva changes track and he begins to praise Prahlad. Then Prahlad refutes the praises of Narada, and then Narada in, tells him to go see Hanuman. Hanuman tells Narada to go to the Pandavas. He praises. Then the Pandavas greet Narada. Narada praises the Pandavas. So Yudhisthira refutes that. Bhima refutes it. Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadev, Draupadi, Kunti. That Narada sees the Yadavas in Dwarka. Narada praises the Yadavas. The Yadavas then direct Narada to Uddhava. Is this
Mm-hmm.
coming back? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, so then Narada arrives in Krishna's palace. Narada praises Uddhava. Then this is where the outline and the building up of the whole pastime of Ratha Yatra is in part discussed here, where the Lord goes back, was being beckoned to go back to Vraj. So there's a sorry going back and forward here. So Narada arrives at Krishna's palace. Narada praises Uddhava. Uddhava is in ecstasy, glorifying the Vrajavasis. Then there's Rohini blames Krishna for condition of the Vrajavasis. Rukmini, that means they're feeling great separation. Rukmini defends, yeah, then Rukmini defends Krishna. Satyabhama confirms Krishna's anxiety. So Krishna is in a great ecstasy of separation. as well as the residents of Vrindavan are feeling a great ecstasy of separation. So Krishna is in great anxiety and great turbulent anxiety about the Rajrasis. Yeah. So Balaram gets a bit heavy with Krishna. He blames him for that situation not returning to Braj. Krishna appears. So he asks Uddhava's advice what to do. Then Devaki and Padmavati advise Krishna. Padmavati is Kamsa's
Mother.
mother, yeah. So Uddhava advises Krishna to go to Vraj. Then Padmavati and Rohini quarrel. Padmavati's criticizing the Rasis for how they treated Krishna. They sent him to go and herd cows with no shoes. And the only reason they want him to go back is to herd the cows. It's all for their selfish purposes, etc., etc. So be fuffled Padmavati is mentioned. Then Balaram appeals to Krishna to save Raj, which is on the edge of extinction or destruction because of their great feelings of separation. So that's where we did a summary up to. So here, so part 7. And what we just dive in and pick out some aspects of this. Yeah. Brahma arranges for Krishna's relief. So let's have a look at that. How is it? Oh, yeah. I remember now. Brahma creates and builds new Vrindavan to pacify Krishna. So it's an exact replica, but it is a replica, but it's a pretty good one because it's built by Lord Brahma. So, yeah, it's built by Lord Brahma. So Krishna's brought to this new Vrindavan. So let's just pick it up here. So he's brought. Okay. Okay, I'll read a little bit. So we got the storyline.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Upon arriving at New Vrindavan, Garuda and Balaram gently place Krishna on the bed. So he's fainted away at this point.
Mm-hmm.
The Gopas and Gopis of New Vrindavan stood around him, and they were Krishna, as if they were Krishna's real cowherd men and women. So there's all volunteers acting as if they were the cowherd men and women. So Uddhava came there with a Devaki, who clearly loved her son, and also with Rukmini, Satyabhama, other queens such as Padmavati. They simply couldn't leave Krishna in such a state. So at Brahma's request, they hid themselves and took up position some distance away from where they could still see Krishna. So the idea here is that Krishna is going to be, at some point, he's going to come to his senses and he's going to wake up, he's going to look left and look right, and all he's going to see is a picture of Vrindavan. So what's going to be his reaction? You know? So Narada's thinking he's committed an offense. Why? It was Narada who made Krishna so unsettled by mentioning the present state of the Rajrasis. Okay, so Narada has explained the state of the Rajrasis, and it's been too much for Krishna, and he's fainted. Yeah, so Garuda's watching from the sky. Krishna, so Balaram comes. Balaram wipes his lotus face. Anyway, we're getting into details, but then he gently plays the flute. We can just read, take too long just to read all the verses. Then he gently placed the flute in the waist of Krishna's dhoti. So yeah, gave a buffalo horn, a stick, garland of kadamba flowers, and everything that is of Raj, peacock feather, gunja berries, etc. This is yeah, so etc. So now Balaram's imploring Krishna to wake up.
He's not up yet. Okay.
No. The gopis are watching your lotus face. Yeah. Parikshit said, in this way, Balaram filled the scene with talk. He called Krishna by his various names, caressed him, and dragged him around in his arms. So dragging him around in his arms. He's caressed him. Now he's dragging him around the place until finally Krishna got up and came back to some sort of consciousness. He uttered the word Shiva, Shiva, then stood up, surprise on his face. So now Krishna's opening his eyes, his smile, looking around, sees Narada. He bows down to him. Krishna sees Mother Yasoda, but this is not the real Mother Yasoda. So he's in ecstasy. Yeah, he doesn't realize he's in divine ecstasy, arranged by the Lord's internal potency. Yeah, where even the Lord himself forgets and doesn't relate that he's the supreme personality of Godhead. So in the same way, so his internal potency, here he doesn't realize the situation actually as it is. He's in a facsimile Vrindavan, and this is not the real Mahayasoda. So he's gone into the ecstasy as if he was in Raj. Yeah. What did he see so many? Yes. He thinks all his pastimes in Dwarka has been a dream. That's what he's saying to Mother Yasoda. It's all a dream. He saw wicked King Kamsa slain, Jarasandha vanquished, and the demi. He thinks it's all a dream. Yeah, in this dream there was a city called Dwarka. Yeah, it's because of this dream. Because of this dream, then I got distracted and I couldn't get out of bed. So amazing, huh? Krishna actually he's being convinced.
He's convinced. That's what
Yeah, he's in
Yogamaya, yeah.
Yeah, it's complete ecstasy. And yeah, he's so what's this? Let's see how it unfolds, because at some point I'm sure he's going to realize the real situation. Yeah, so Rohini sends Krishna wants some food to take. He's going to go to the forest now to herd the cows. Hopefully, he got cows ready then. The cows have gone ahead, so they're telling little lies now. The cows and boys have already gone ahead. You should quickly follow them. Krishna offered his respects to a Rohini who had spoken to him with such love. Then, with a smile on his face, like a thief, he stealthily took from Mother Yasoda's hand the butter she was holding. He then left to join his older brother, calling out his name. Well, I guess we're just reading every verse now. Let's just do like this for today. Yeah? Just wrap purpose, just to paraphrase the verses, get more details of the storyline. Yeah, so the whole continue walking, playing his flute. He comes upon Radharani with her girlfriends. So this is not the real Radharani. This is not the real gopis. Yeah, we read it. Oh yeah. Why don't you speak to me? So these are not. Yeah, these are like deities. They're not actually persons. Actually, yeah, these are actually deities. It's a deity of Mother Yasoda. It's a deity of Radharani. It's a deity of the gopis. Yeah, so that's why Krishna asked his question. Why don't you speak to me? Why are you not speaking to me?
How did I offend you? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so in a dream, he's saying that he went away and he married many princesses. And he had sons and grandsons and great grandsons, which is all what actually happened, but he thinks it's a dream. Anyway, forget that. Now I've gone to the forest. Tonight at dusk, I'll bestow satisfaction. You will enjoy with me. So in this way, um, yeah, Krishna threw a handful of flowers at Radha, looked all around, and then embraced and kissed her. He still didn't notice that she's a facsimile. He then went ahead to meet the cows and cow. I guess it was a good facsimile built, created by the mystic potency of Lord Brahma. So Devaki, she's seeing Krishna in this Raj garb, and she's very much astonished. She's very much attracted to it. All the other queens the same. They felt a love they haven't felt before. Rukmini and Jambavati. So they're feeling a bit of Gopi Bhava. Yeah.
Mm,
So they were fainting at this, the ecstasy that Krishna, dressed as Krishna of Raj, is invoking a specific type of ecstasy which they haven't experienced before. And the attraction of Krishna has a sweetness about it which they haven't seen or experienced before. It's just Krishna in the Raj. So they faint. Yeah. Even Krishna, even Kamsa's mother becomes intoxicated. So they become attracted to this Krishna, driven by lust. Yeah. And they ran after him, arms extended to try and catch him, to try and embrace him. So everything's going a bit crazy here.
yeah, it's like two sides, uh, like Dwarka and
Yeah,
Vrindavan.
Dwarka meets Vrindavan, or
Yeah,
Vrindavan
Dwarka
meets
means,
Dwarka. So
yeah.
quite an interesting, yeah, because as we know, as Sanat Goswami has explained, the conclusion is that the place of the highest sweetness and the highest ecstasy, as a cause of that sweetness, is in Braj.
Mm,
But that's why Krishna didn't, for instance, arrange it that the residents of Vrindavan would come to Dwarka.
mm,
They stayed in Braj. So the two don't mix very well, but here they're being mixed. You know, now
mm,
they're seeing Krishna in his Vraj apparel, so they're becoming overcome with great ecstasy. So Krishna's going ahead. So now he comes. So he's in Dwarka. So eventually he comes to the great sea, but he thinks there's the Yamuna because Dwarka is
mm,
an island, isn't it? So now he comes to this great sea, and he thinks it's the Yamuna. So he's calling his friends now. Yeah. This particular type of ecstasy is also devotees can experience this to one degree, in a sense of it's like a samadhi, where they identify so much with their object of meditation that they forget their surroundings and they actually see the pastime. They're seeing it. Like a wonderful example of that is Gaur Govinda Swami, when that famous case when he was in Mayapur.
mm.
And as far as the details of it, so the details of it is that he saw Lord Chaitanya performing pastimes with Jagai Madai, if I've got that right. And then when he faints, he goes into this great ecstasy of Mahabhav, and he didn't come out for a long time.
Mm,
Yeah, I forget how long it was, a couple of months, 2 or 3 months. He was in this state of being completely aloof and from everything around him. You know, he got he had to have, of course, someone had to look after him. Devotees thought he was haunted by a ghost.
mm,
You know, he was in a great Mahabhav ecstasy. And one was Prabhupada disciple came. What is his name? Akinchana Das Babaji Maharaj, I think. He came.
Akinchana.
And he looked at it and he said, no, no, because they thought he'd become obsessed by a ghost or something, epileptic fit. He said, no, it's Mahabharata.
Wow. Mm.
And I think I mentioned this before, that there's one nice video of that the devotee explained that the devotee who was looking after him. I think it's passed away now, but it's a nice YouTube video where he explains that whole experience of looking after Bhagavinda Swami Maharaj at that time. So there's the example where devotees they can go into a great swoon of ecstasy. Um, Perhaps
Mm.
not the level of Krishna, but it's where they lose touch with they just don't relate to the world at all because they're in another realm. Internally, they're in another realm. So Gogavinda Maharaj, I was interested to hear the description because he was still, he was still there. He was still standing up a little bit, but he had to be helped. He couldn't make out anything externally, so he had to be helped to the bathroom, and you know, but he wasn't there internally. He was completely somewhere else. Anyway, so Krishna's the same here. He's gone into this.
He wrote that book, Mathura Meets Vrindavan.
Yeah, might be based on this part, isn't it?
Yes, and then I'm thinking, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, perhaps that book is all about this, Mathura meets Vrindavan, because this is what's happening here.
Mm. Mm.
Was it Mathura meets Vrindavan or Dwarka meets? No, this is Dwarka.
Something like that. Something like that. I can't remember. I got the book somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, so Krishna, yeah, so he's acting out the pastimes at Jamuna. So now something's happening here now. Yeah. So he looked around this, so now he's stopped. He's looking around the sea coast and he's noticed Dwarka in the distance. So because he's come out the city and he's at the edge of the sea. So he explained, now, what is this? Where am I? Who am I? So he's coming out of this. Then Balaram explains something to him. Oh, Master, you're the master of Vaikuntha. Please consider who you are and your mission. Now, please destroy the wicked and protect everyone else. Okay, let's just read it. Balaram here requests Krishna to think of himself as the Lord of Vaikuntha and of Balaram as his aide. Anantashesh, even though Krishna is indeed the son of Nanda Maharaj, he should now carry out the mission for which he and Balaram have descended from Vaikuntha. So what Balaram's doing, Balaram's just bringing him, yeah, he's playing as if he's speaking to Krishna as if he has been in Vrindavan, and now he's here in Dwarka to do his mission of establishing religious principles and annihilating the demons. But Krishna's already done all of that.
Mm.
Establish Yudhisthira. Uh, please go to Yudhisthira with the help of the Yadus. Okay, let's just go back to sorry, let's see where we've got to so far. How far have we got? Okay, so here we are. We've just been reading this one part.
Yeah.
All right, so here it is. No, we read that. This sort of reading, is it? Yeah, Krishna goes to the forest. Krishna talks to Radha. The ladies are overwhelmed. Krishna sees the ocean of Dwarka city. Balaram explains the situation. So this is where we are now. Okay. So Garuda takes the brothers back to Dwarka. The ladies glorify the gopis of Braj. Let's hear Krishna scolding Satyabhama. Let's pick it up from there. So now he's gone back to the palace. He's been brought back by Garuda. Okay.
Back in Dwarka.
Yeah, yeah. Back in Dwarka. It is befitting, therefore, that Krishna loves them more than us, for we are obsessed with our religious duties, social obligations, children, grandchildren, homes, household affairs, and so on. We are but his maidservants, worshipping him with reverence like fallen conditioned souls. We married wives should not envy his exceptional love for the gopis. Rather, we should always glorify that love, for it proves how very subservient he becomes to his beloveds. So Parikshit scans her back to the story now. Parikshit speaking to his mother, Uttara. The blessed Lord of life of the gopis then ordered angrily, "Bring me here at once that daughter of the foolish king." So Satyabhama, yeah, she comes. Most expert in the arts of amorous love, was always ready to skillfully serve her husband in the mood of jealous pride, knowing him also to be fully conversant with the skills of love and eager to enjoy the cowherd women. So upon hearing this order from the maidservants, intelligent Satyabhama got up, bathed and came. Okay, she hides herself. She's feeling shame. Krishna notices her. Oh,
I can't remember why she being chastised.
let's find out. Yeah, why is she being chastised? Hopefully, let's see. Um, I'm sure Krishna's going to explain
Yeah.
it. Oh, damn. That's a shame. I would just like to read all the verses here again, but because we're missing so much
Yeah, I'd like
detail.
to read the whole books again.
Yeah, let's just read the verses and like that. Okay, if the people of Raj thought it good that I renounce everything, I promise you that in a moment I would do just that. The praise offered by the venerable Brahma was not spoken in vain. I can never fully repay these devotees, so I'm utterly indebted to them. But even if for their pleasure I were to return to live with them, I don't see how that would help. Just by seeing me, they become so dazed and bewildered by ecstasy from deep within that they fail to recognize their own bodies and everything that has to do with their bodies, what to speak of the rest of the world. So their pain won't be relieved even if they see me. Their hearts will be so disturbed by forced separation from me that whatever measures I take for their happiness will only double their grief. So that's at the stage of where the gopis and the residents of Raj are at. Whether Krishna is present or not, they're always in this state of feeling separation from him. When he is there, they think they're dreaming. Yeah. And when they cannot see me, they become so torn that the fire of separation leaves them sometimes as though dead and sometimes as though insane. And they partake of the nectar of wonderful ecstasies. If they see a patch of darkness resembling my complexion, they embrace and kiss it, mistaking it for me. So they see a dark shadow, they think it's Krishna.
Even
What more can I describe? So they're mad, they become mad. It's called unmada, a state of maddened Krishna consciousness. Therefore, my staying with them will be equal to my absence. Realizing this, I have not returned there. Now, here the real reason I married you. Okay, so I guess Satyabhama's thinking a bit undone because Krishna's in the ecstasy of glorifying the gopis.
mm,
So she's feeling a bit, undone. So now he's going to explain to her why he feels as he does.
mm,
My dear proud lady, when living in Mathura Puri without the gopis, I first had no desire to remarry. But from the mouth of a Brahmana, I heard Rukmini's letter. Okay, so she's also, why did you marry, if you're so much absorbed in these gopis, then why did you marry me? Why did you marry all of us? I imagine that was probably her issue.
mm.
But Krishna's going to play the innocent now. But from the mouth of a Brahmana, I heard Rukmini's letter, which told her her distress and her intention to commit suicide if she could not obtain me. Okay, so I destroyed the pride of a host of wicked kings in battle, took her hand and carried her off as all the kings watched. Uh-huh.
That's Rukmi. And then after that, Satyabhama.
Yeah. Seeing 16,100 gopis who had vows, who with vows worship Katyayani to obtain me, to bring my mind somewhat to peace by seeing likeness of them. I married the same number of you queens here in Dwarka. So I guess yeah, this is what's that book? The Lalita Madhava or the Vidagdha Mahadeva. Yeah, this whole pastime is described there. It's a wonderful pastime with many beautiful twists and turns, and so this has been somewhat described here. Yeah. So you got, yeah, I guess a bit 16,108 queens he married. Let's all willful women, all willful woman, please understand, all that I relished in Vraj gave me the highest pleasure, and and though the glories of those times has now abandoned me, it still resides in that most worthy place, must be in his heart.
This shows here that how we remember old times were so nice. Old times were so nice, in everything.
Yeah, I guess we might reflect like that because old times means younger times. Means
Like,
young.
when even when the temples were not so crowded, not so, oh, it was really nice then. It's like that. You always think back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
More
Like
personal.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, more.
like the
Yeah.
Prabhupada disciples, the early Prabhupada disciples often transcendently romanticize about the early days with Prabhupada, what association they had.
Mm.
Yeah. So same here, Krishna is
Same
thinking
here,
someone
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Mm.
So let's just read this commentary. Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes are chitrati chitra, more charming than any other attraction. They can attract the mind of everyone in the universe. Thus, the time and place of those pastimes are uniquely sacred, and the spiritual potency of the devotees who take part in Krishna's sports in Sri Narad Raj is impossible to measure. For those devotees enchant even the Lord himself. He who enchants all the universes, enchanted by their devotion. Yes, as mentioned, I quickly killed Kalia. He mentioned his pastimes there now, lifting Govardhan Hill. Brahma offered prayers, Brahma Vimohan Leela. My beautiful form, dress, and nectarian sound on my flute. So he's in now he's praising the glories of Raj. Yeah, so let's just go forward a bit. You can ask Kalindi or not. This is true. Kalindi, who's Kalindi?
This is one of his wives.
Queens, yeah.
Queens, yeah.
Yeah, so he's not exaggerating. So Queen Kalindi can verify that. So how does she know? What's specific with her? Okay, but I cannot arouse the same emotions now in my relatives, the Yadavas, either with joking or with entertaining pastimes. Well, it's been quite honest. Here in Dwarka, I have found it difficult to break the jealous pride of queens like you. Embarrassed, I have therefore put aside my dear flute. So he doesn't want to upset them more. Alas, what I did and how I lived in Raj seems here so far away that with you I cannot even speak of those things. Just as one person almost as dear to me as the devotees of Raj will be able to describe these topics, Sukadev, the son of Bad, Badanarayan Vyas, by the power of his great love in the mood of the Vrajavasis, he will speak something of those matters to his excellent disciples. Okay, so Srila Vyasadeva is in the mood of the Vrajavasis. Interesting. So he speak those matters to his excellent disciples. Okay. So Parikshit's now back to Parikshit speaking to his mother. As the Supreme Lord continued ardently praising the splendor of the good fortune of Raj, the expert counselor Uddhava grew anxious, for the special ecstasies of Raj might again draw the Lord into a trance. So he gained the ecstasy of Raj. With Gesha, therefore, he prompted the ladies to do something. So they're surrounding him, the queens touching his feet with their heads, offering prayers, crying, gradually trying to pacify him. Bring Krishna a meal. Uddhava informs Krishna that Narad is here. Why doesn't Narad come in as usual? So he's afraid and embarrassed. Let's read that. Commentary. Uddhava could not help smiling when he thought about Narad's curious behavior, his enthusiastic arrival, his uncontrolled systems of ecstasy, and his hiding in the sky to watch Krishna visit Nava Vrindavan. Yeah, don't forget. So they're all watching from a distance this whole thing unfold, the ecstasies of Krishna unfold. Uddhava told Krishna that Narada was afraid because of the offense he had committed by because remember he had originally started speaking about Raj. And Uddhava added that Narada was also embarrassed. Pure devotees are usually shy to reveal their private ecstasies when this might disturb others. To pacify Narada, Krishna himself therefore went to invite Narada in. Krishna approached the sage. Okay, so it's okay, Narada, come on in. Okay. About it is true that when one is parted from those one loves, pure love makes one suffer within, as if it is a blazing forest fire. The burning pain creates a remorse that further deepens into irresistible sorrow. Thus, one at first seems wretched. It's a great topic, actually, very deep subject. It's actually ecstasy, which is manifested in a specific way. It's not the pain that people experience in the material world. It's like, as one Acharya describes it, it's just like it's contradictory, but it's factual. Like when you touch ice, if you touch really cold ice, your hands will get burned.
But yeah.
It's called ice burn. But it doesn't make sense because your hands get burned, but it's ice cold. So in the same way, this ecstasy it sounds like it sounds devastating. Yeah, it sounds devastating, painful, and difficult to actually, yeah. But actually, it is a great, great, great ecstasy.
It's difficult to picture, to realize as well, because we're so bound in this material world, and pain means pain, right?
Yeah. Say that again. We're so bound in material world, and
Yes, in the material world, to us, pain is really pain. It's painful, right?
yeah.
To try and understand that pain in ecstasy, to change it to ecstasy, is
Well,
really.
that's because, the main factor is that Krishna's not in our pain that we experience in the material
Oh
world.
no.
So,
Yes.
like that's the difference. The so-called, or this description here, the burning, it's called viraha bhav. Viraha means burning. So the burning pain it's all based on Krishna. It's all based on a level of absorption in Krishna. And that's particularly manifesting in his absence. And actually, it's considered to be a greater ecstasy than actually being with Krishna. There's different types of separation. One is called purvarag. Purvarag is the separation that one experiences from Krishna before even meeting him, just by hearing about him. That's exemplified by Queen Rukmini. Yeah, where she sent the letter. She hadn't actually met Krishna. She just heard about Krishna from those who would visit. Yeah, so she would hear. She heard this great attachment and the love for Krishna. So my Guru Maharaj mentions that that's the quite relevant for us in the material world. Anadi, been here for all eternity, you could say. That's the whole discussion. So we hearing about Krishna, and the idea is that we develop this mood of separation. That is actual how we can make tangible advancement if we feel pain or separation from Krishna. So upon hearing about him, upon hearing about Raj, then we can experience then we can, my Guru Maharaj calls it tat bhava, where you associate with that mood, and that mood will kind of, how can I explain? You will feel that mood where you, just like when you go to, so when you see a film, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people cry when they see a film, you know,
Emotions.
and
Yeah.
it's experience different emotions. So the same thing, it's actually it is a specific means or practice that devotees do to absorb themselves in feelings of vipalamba bhav. You know, they don't sit down and wait for it to happen. They actually read about the feelings of separation. And
Pranam. Mm.
there's specific writings of the Goswamis which really exemplify that. One is called the Hamsadutta. It's by Rupa Goswami. And it is such a, I'm going to say, such an enchanting, beautiful book, which really outlines the feelings of the gopis, and especially Radharani's feelings for Radharani, for Krishna. It's done in such a poetic way. The basic
Mm.
outline of it is that Radharani's feeling a great pain of separation after Krishna's gone to Mathura. So the gopis, they're desperate. They're desperate to try and alleviate um, this burning viraha bhav of Radharani. So they take her to the Jamuna. And as they're taken to the Jamuna to be cooled down by her cooling waves, Radharani sees she sees this cottage where she would enjoy nice pastimes with Krishna. And seeing that and then remembering Krishna, she goes into a great swoon and she faints away and she's dead. There's no life in her body as far as the gopis are concerned. And they cry so much that Rupa Goswami describes that they cry so much, they're crying so much that Radharani seems to have died, that their tears reach the waves of the Yamuna. And I think Lalita, she is holding Radharani in her arms and she's desperately fanning her with her. She's crying at the same time. They're all hysterical. They're fanning Radharani with this fan and trying to bring her to life. And then they hear this slight rattling in her throat, which is a sign of life. And they become ecstatic. Oh, she's alive, she's alive, she's alive. And then Lalita goes to the Jamuna. She gets some water to sprinkle on Krishna. Because Radharani is in great distress, and the gopis are doubly in distress because Radharani is in distress about feeling separation from her Krishna. So they're double in distress. So Lalita goes to the Yamuna and she sees this beautiful swan which comes towards her. And she sees the swan and she sees it as a messenger to give to send the plight that the gopis and Radharani are feeling. They actually she speaks this message to the swan about she details the direction the swan should take, and she explains the past times, and now you, my dear swan, now you can, I can't possibly repeat the details of that, but she speaks the song, this sonnet to this swan, and that's called a Hamsadutta. And
I
it's,
remember reading a little bit of it. You sent it to me once.
yeah, it's only a small book.
Yeah,
It's not a big book.
more poetry.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a recording of it and I listen to it. It's good. It's so nice. And there's another one as well. It's called Rajavilastava. That's by Raghunath Das Goswami. That's where Raghunath Das Goswami is actually offering prayers to all the residents of Raj, the known ones and the unknown ones. He's offering prayers to the bees, to the trees, to the Yamuna, Govardhan Hill, to the cows, you know, to the nurses, to the young children, to the bees, to the birds. He goes into, he's saying these, he's praying to all these residents of Raj, begging for their mercy, you know. And so that's Rajavilastava. That's a bit longer. But, and then you got other, of course, you got Venu Gita as well. Yeah, so the lights have gone off here, but I guess it's India, so that's what
Kind
happened.
of like trying to understand, because like when we read that the separation which Radharani felt and the gopis felt from Krishna,
Yeah,
because we haven't obviously we've not had that experience of being with Krishna because we've forgotten. For us in the material world, we can only feel that through reading and reading and reading about
yeah, that's it.
Krishna's pastimes and, Radharani's pastimes with Krishna. So we're trying to develop this separation through reading about the pastimes, because when
Right.
you feel separation from somebody, if you've been with that person and you were so like, so in love with that person,
Yeah.
that when you're away from that person, you feel the separation. But for us, it's quite difficult trying to experience that separation because we can't remember what it was like to be with him. I don't
Well,
know if that makes
so,
sense.
so
Yeah.
therefore, that's why it's actually
Mm.
crossing over to Raganuga Southern. That's why devotees listen to these
Yes,
feelings of the gopis, and that's the
yes,
sadhana. So they
uh,
take memory in their heart and they chant Hare Krishna.
yes, yes.
They have those scenes etched in the core of their heart.
Mm.
They chant Hare Krishna, and they
Yeah,
experience that ecstasy of separation. And then they will then feel in that same mood.
yes,
Not like
yes.
imitating, but develop
No.
mood, because that's the mood that we should practice sadhana.
Mm.
Our sadhana should have a particular mood that we should develop, and that mood is separation. And as you said, it's not going to just fall out the sky. We have to, you know,
Because we're so distracted, aren't we? We're just so distracted minute by minute. I mean, when we're in the association of devotees, we're in the temple, we are doing the service, then you feel that, you really feel the mood. But as soon as you come out of that, you're back in that material world of the everyday mundane things. So you kind of like have to really try that extra hard to go back into that mood again.
well, that's why we have particular sadhana that we do. That's why it's
Yeah.
that every day we chant the holy name.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's the time to, go turn the eyes inwards, no matter where you are, in the temple, outside the temple.
Yes.
That's the time where, you based on what you can chant the holy name, and based on your accomplishment in chanting and
Yeah.
your absorption, you can meditate upon these things.
And try not to be distracted about what's surrounding us and kind of like go
You
within,
know,
go
well,
within.
yeah, especially during japa, you have no need to try to be. There's no need to try to avoid being distracted. You just try to be absorbed in Krishna.
Yeah.
When you're absorbed in these moods and memories of Krishna, then the idea is that you won't even know where you are. You'll forget where you are. You'll be somewhere else. You know, it's different.
So much easier in the Dham, isn't it, though? Not in a busy, bustling town where there's just noise constantly.
Well, of course, where you got your flat, you got your place, you can close the door and sit down.
Yes.
You got, you know, sacred space, so to speak.
Yes.
Even if
Though there are times when you really do feel separation.
Yes.
So there are times when you're like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
Had enough of this world.
No, not even like, not because you are tired of this world or it is annoying you, but I give you example. The other day I was just chanting, and I don't know, I can't remember, I can just figure out a little bit. And then, you know, when you go to Barsana, before Barsana, there is this kund where you sit and Dinabandhu you go and he tells you stories. Anyway, that image was there. And rather than thinking Oma Rose, like really between separation of Krishna.
Yes.
I was just thinking, boy, you know how it feels to be separate from Krishna. So, you know, you want to have that feeling of real separate. We are feeling separation from Krishna, rather than Krishna, and Brhad, you know.
Of course. Yes.
So we develop that.
Yeah, so it just, I think, I don't know, I'm just talking just generally. Oh, this is recorded. Sorry, I didn't mean it.
No, it's okay. I can press.